boring live stream where I was just doing things the whole time and not reading the chat. You know, probably not doing a great job with the cinematography either. But I got a little wooden thing built for the weed plants. We'll get some twine, some gentle twine, and tie it to those things. And then, if we need to go higher, well, I've got stuff in the shed that I can use to put as like poles basically.
Oh, good.
But it's pretty sturdy too.
It looks it.
Yeah, it's got a 2x4 on the bottom. It's got the two end sticks, and then it's got a flat thing on the top, and then I've got poles on either side of it, zip tied together so it stays tight.
Cool. Good use of zip ties.
Yeah, zip ties are quite the miracle invention that works miracles.
Yes.
Hello, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Good morning. Welcome to Insomniac Theater. Tonight, the role of Insomniac will be played by both Rachel and me. As we are awake. Rachel spent like hours talking on the
10
phone
hours.
with 10 hours on the phone.
10 hours on the phone.
You were on the phone for 10
hours.
hours? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of time on the phone.
Yeah. That's probably the longest I've ever been on the phone.
And you still felt like, if it's okay if I leave now. In the end. Well, you sound like you're having a good conversation.
Yeah, it was. It was a good conversation.
I bring the chat up on the TV in case anybody inclined to chat.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 in the morning on a Friday, Saturday morning. Probably not gonna get a ton of traffic this time of night, but that's okay. I'm just waiting for myself to get tired,
Yeah. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It is important to sleep sometimes.
Yeah. I'm starting to get tired.
I feel tired but not sleepy. What are you doing? I'm playing poker and we're live streaming. What are you doing, Harrison Laurie? And smoking weed, of course. Pocket bong rip and put a little bit of concentrate on top of it too, just for good measure. Just playing games and one on your phone. G. Wow. Sounds like you and I are equivalently busy. I should say not at all busy. Would you like me to roll you a joint?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Start criticizing capitalism, please. No thanks. Luke, tell me. I'm curious. How are you chatting here? I certainly hope you aren't using a smartphone that capitalism provided you. You need to chat on the internet via mule in the fashion of the worker. Hello, Zany. Zanai. We're rolling a joint for Rachel. A joint indeed. Well, it's not really an argument, it's just pointing out the insane hypocrisy of critiquing capitalism on YouTube via your smartphone. There's not an argument against capitalism or in favor of capitalism. It's an argument against your hypocrisy. It's just pointing it out. You know? Obviously, capitalism isn't a thing that one supports or doesn't support. It's the absence of use of force that would otherwise interfere with, commerce and shit. So, sometimes we want to have use of force interfering with free commerce. In other words, the government does have a role in ensuring fair marketplaces and as level a playing field as possible, preventing anti-competitive practices and so forth. What other thing do you do here, like content-wise? Well, I make shorts, I live stream a lot, and I used to make more long-form videos. Don't make so many of those anymore. I put up music, and other things, It's this YouTube channel has been the center point of my life, really, for the last 10 years or so, and quite a significant center point of Rachel's life for the last 5 years as well.
Yeah.
So, hi sir, are you having any problems? No, I'm not having any problems. Nice folksy. I don't know what that is. I'm doing fine like raspberry wine. I'm doing well like Jiminy Swell. I'm doing good in the neighborhood. She is a nice girl. She's my wife.
Thanks.
See you later, Harrison. Don't let the bed bugs bite. So right now I'm rolling joint for Rachel because she prefers to smoke joints over long ribs. It makes her cough less,
Yeah. I have baby lungs.
She does. Meanwhile, even when I was a baby, I still didn't have baby lungs.
It's true, you didn't.
I popped out the womb and was like, hand me the bong. And the doctor and the nurse were very impressed at the size of the rip I pulled as a newborn baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did a lot of stuff as a newborn baby.
Oh, yeah. I was a busy baby. As I've gotten older, I've gotten lazier and lazier.
Your lazy matches my lazy.
Yeah. We're a couple of matching bookends.
Yeah, we are.
We're two people, one purple jacket.
What's that from?
It's from last night.
Oh, of course. How could I think of anything different as a purple jacket?
Yeah. I can't believe it. I thought for years now, this purple jacket, I got it from my dad after he died. It's just this purple jacket I didn't like, but it was like one of the jackets I had, so I wear it. And then I found out last night, it was never my jacket. It was never my dad's jacket. It's Rachel's jacket.
But it's actually yours now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I didn't mean to co-opt it from you.
I
You
thought it
know,
was so cute. I'm like, oh, he's wearing my clothes.
I just thought it was from my dad, I guess.
I think it's cute.
I just pointed out last night. It is kind of my dad's taste in clothes.
It is.
Hi, Iron Lion. You're not going to be destroying this planet after all because of a turtle? Cool. Error with user. We are sitting here getting high, but that's not all we're doing. I'm also pontificating about things.
Ooh, pontificating.
Yeah. Offering insights and musings.
It's always good.
Mysterious and verruct. I don't know what that means. Verruct. I'm assuming mysterious means mysteries. But I don't know what verruct means. Crazy.
Huh.
Mysterious and crazy. Now I know. I guess it's a German word, probably.
Mm.
Jokes aside, hi Eric and Lady Rachel. Hello, Iron Lion.
Hi, Iron Lion.
As always, I appreciate your comments on my shorts.
Aw.
He left a comment saying that he thought I was functioning as a hilarious narrator in that one about the lady falling down in the hurdles.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciated that.
It was great. It was great narration.
I'm running, I'm hurdling, I'm hurdling. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was.
I didn't make any shorts today because I was screwing around with music all day. You were on the phone for 10 hours. I was tweaking out on music for 10 hours. But, now I'm feeling pretty chill. Olanzapine. It's a sleeping pill that really makes me go to sleep, even though it's not technically a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
That stuff will knock me out. But I also took 4 Benadryls and 2 gabapentins.
Oh.
So, see you later.
Bye.
Happy life to you as well. May your life be filled with stuffings of packages of happiness all throughout your body. Work? You gotta work?
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a nice day at work.
Excuse me.
I'm planning on going to sleep at some point. That's my job today.
Me too.
I'm not Walter White, I used to sing, even though I have a beard. Me work Sir Tyler. Okay, you work with Sir Tyler and we'll all go to England together. Are you sure? What about Jesus? Isn't he a God except Allah? And nobody likes Allah.
He seemed kind of like.
Except for like Muslims. It's because Allah is known to be one of the stinkiest of the gods. That's why. I mean, obviously, Vishnu also a pretty stinky god.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Ish. It sounds like you have opinions about religion. You can go ahead and keep those to yourself if you'd like. I'll tell you what, I won't convert you and you don't convert me. Because if you're gonna try to convert me, then I'm gonna try to convert you to something weird, like, you know, like Zoroastrianism. Yeah, I didn't today because I was caught up being creative. I feel kind of like I'm not sure if I'm getting where I want to go. I feel like I'm floundering a bit.
With what?
Well, with Gregory.
Oh.
Well, I would suggest that you do your research. I think you should read a dictionary cover to cover, learn every word in it. Until you do your research, I'm not going to take any homework assignments from you.
Neither am I.
Yeah. Plus, if you are an example of what represents Islam, then fuck that shit. I don't want people proselytizing at me. That's obviously bullshit then. So, fuck off, go to hell. I don't care. Suck my dick.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Where'd you see Jesus on a piece of toast?
When you have Jesus in your heart, you can do this. Allah can't do this. Muhammad can't do this. Only Jesus lets this happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, William.
Hi, William. I've got a spoon upon my nose, thanks to Jesus Christ above, and also God, who's not named Allah, and Holy Spirit too, and God, and I say ish, now go fuck off. I do not want your Muslim ways, and you will not convert me, because I think your religion's dumb. Thank you, thank you. I hope now that you've learned in song form that you really learned something ish. I hope.
Me too.
That's what I hope.
It's good to learn.
Yeah. And I find that people learn best when I sing them songs. Well, I mean, you know, if you're going to come around here offering me, say, I don't know, coconut pie, I'm going to point out I don't like coconut. In fact, I dislike it. And I don't want any of your fucking pie.
Nice.
Same thing with Islam.
Same thing with Islam. It's just right on the same.
Yeah, it's like coconut pie. I don't like it. That's okay. It's my prerogative.
It's too bad that German chocolate cake, right, has
Yeah,
shavings.
yeah. It's the shavings that are the problem. The flavor isn't necessarily
No,
the
the
problem. It's the
flavor.
texture of the shavings.
Oh.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
It's like eating little pieces of twigs.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, SB Uni. What's going on? Tonight, we're spooning. But don't be alarmed. I don't mean we're lying in a spoon formation. I mean we're doing this. We're putting spoons on our noses and goons on our hoses.
Wow, it's really sticking.
Yeah, I know. That's the power of Jesus.
Oh, it's the power of Jesus.
Yeah. Allah's trying to knock it off of my nose, but he's not having any luck. Well, yes, Iron Lion. I have basically eaten twigs when I eat those horrible, horrible mushrooms that I like to eat so much. They're like twigs. But I used to eat them instead of. Nowadays, we have a better approach to eating them. It's not so bad, right?
No. I didn't even taste them this time with the routine.
Yeah, right? It went down easy.
Yeah, they did.
God is dead, there's no Jesus. Christianity's the metaphysics of hangman. Well, I think, Sam, regardless if you want to take a secular approach to the question or not, that a correct person would agree that the Christianity is the most correct religion because it understands sin in terms of rights and liabilities, and it understands virtue as not a moral question. So it's correct in that regard. For example, it's understood by Christianity that forgiveness is the highest virtue, and I think it actually is the highest virtue. That doesn't necessarily mean not to be prioritized, because justice is the highest value, also implied by Christianity. Other religions don't do as good a job, even if I don't think anyone would dispute that the Bible is just a train wreck of bullshit, right? But what's even less intelligent is is going around and shitting on religion. It's like, first of all, you're shooting fish in a barrel because religion, properly exercised, is an exercise of faith, which is belief in the absence of evidence, right? So it's like anybody trying to argue in favor or against God is missing the point entirely because they mistake, the behavior of faith as some kind of, affirmation that they're trying to sustain. See what I'm saying, Sam? And that's one to grow on. I heard a story about a man kidnapped by Sasquatch and was chosen as a breeding mate for a female Sasquatch. If that was you, would you give in and mate with a female Sasquatch? No. But presumably I wouldn't be given that much of a choice. It glorifies submission and meekness where weak one is celebrated and strong ones are suppressed. No, I mean you seem to have ignored what I just said. Because of the Christian definition or understanding of sin, it's predicated on the idea of rights and liabilities. So, it's not perfect. It's not, it's not intended to be a, a set of instructions about the world or anything, right? It's intended to understand that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and it's virtuous to forgive when we can, but it's important to uphold justice regardless. So, nobody would disagree with those sentiments. And what you attempt to say here is that Christianity is this. Remember, religion and the exercise thereof is a practicing of a behavior called faith. It's not a set of arguments. So you're wrong, wrong, and wrong again. I mean, I think that female Sasquatch is going to have a hard time mating with me because I don't imagine myself being particularly aroused by that situation unless she's going to force some Viagra down my throat or something. What do I think of the afterlife? I don't have any opinion of it. None of us know what happens after death. It's not possible to know it definitionally because death is the point from which no data can further be provided to the living,
Yeah, it doesn't come back at us.
Right. He actually signed an official paper That was notarized by the government, so he would have been jailed if it was found out to be a lie. Who? Most people don't want to hear the truth because he retracted it. That's why I was unable to continue reading it. Oh, the dude who escaped Sasquatch's kidnapping. Why would a male Sasquatch want me to mate with a female Sasquatch? Wouldn't he want me to not mate with a female Sasquatch? Don't Sasquatches have jealousy? Oh, it's the father Sasquatch. He couldn't find a nice Sasquatch boy for his daughter? Maybe that's just how Sasquatches reproduce. No. There are moral statuses. Things are morally impermissible, permissible, obligatory, etc. for various reasons. You know, just because, I mean, what kind of a child must you be to only be a decent human being out of fear of punishment? That's such a childlike perspective on things, you know? Only children think like that. I know those Bigfoot videos are fun. Hi, Ben Cooper. They might want your bald head genetics to mix with their own. That's possible. I do have an amazingly shiny and glorious bald head. I'd say it's the best bald head west of the Mississippi. Yeah, sorry, most people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions to be shattered. To be honest, there was only one true Christian and he died on the cross. Well, I mean, why are you so concerned about these most people that you presume to know their, I guess, epistemics? Most people don't want to hear the truth. Well, it depends on the. It depends on the. Money, can you link that video again for me, please? I closed that window and I couldn't find it again. Maybe I'll watch it right now while I'm live streaming. Don't copyright me though, okay? Is it on your channel? I mean, the thing is, the only time I can go to your channel is when you're here and I push go to channel. Typology primitives. All right, let's watch it.
Thank you for clicking on this video. This talk will be on typology primitives.
Oh my God. Money. You're from Australia. I had no idea you were from Australia. I did not picture you sounding like this at all. Boy, that's a real surprise.
This is not affiliated with any institution, nor are there many references. I made this presentation mostly upon gut feelings, vibes, it feeling right. So it might just be complete rubbish. Let's go over the overview briefly. Firstly, this talk will aim for a more intuitive, big picture understanding over something accurate and well-defined. If you do want a more detailed explanation, it will be included in a paper sometime in the future. I may make references to some objects and operations, but it will be done in a rhetorical manner. I recommend you watch this video multiple times, pausing, rewinding, looking things up between sessions.
I had a lot of disclaimer.
The first space support to be introduced is the experience interface. The experience interface is a set of all possible configurations of sensory input that an observer can encounter. I'm talking about raw sensory input like sight, sound, and texture. For convention's sake, I'll call this SE. The next space I want to introduce is the naming space. This is the set of all possible ways of naming, recognizing, and categorizing by an observer. This doesn't necessarily have to be a word spoken out loud. just any representation that allows for experience to be organized. So far, we have two infinitely large spaces. For both of these objects, we need to have a localized configuration in both spaces. Think of it as drawing a circle with things inside the circle stand out against the space. We will call such an instance SE and NE, SI and NI respectively. NI structures what is an SE, SI structures what is an NE. When describing the appearance of objects, things get tricky because there's no clear starting position. If we had no NI concept of what a tree is, we would have no way of representing it as something that stands out in SE. If we never had a SI segment of what a tree is, how can it be described? When we observe a tree, we use some concept to structure each experience. When experienced, we reinforce it into meaning by describing what it is. Co-constitution is a meaningful concept to consider when describing how the epistemic cycle of object making occurs. There are several processes.
Constitution is a. Hold on, I have to go back. I missed that bit. You introduced a new term that I'm not familiar with. I gotta see what it means. It's a meaningful concept to consider for describing the epistemic cycle of object making occurs. Process where two or more entities mutually influence each other's existence or characteristics. SE influencing NI. The tree must exist in reality. NI influencing SE. You cannot see the tree without representing it. NE influencing SI. You need to make sense of the tree. I don't think that one is right. You need to make the tree into something else. You need to fit it into. I guess it's sort of making sense of it, but the problem making sense of there is that it's too deliberative a sounding expression, I think. Like, people are often misunderstanding extroverted intuition as some kind of not pudding function, you know? So rather than make sense of the tree, which would presumably involve either deliberation or NI, you need to make something else out of the tree.
There is some much needed additional structure to describe the co-constitutive process. We will introduce the subscript code, which simply means the set of all ways of improving the fitness of the object. For example, when applying the subscript to the object tree, we are describing the set of all ways the tree can be made real, all ways taking a hearing experience, all ways to segment the tree from experience, and all ways to describe the tree. When we want to describe a particular process in tree code, we can indicate this with a subscript. Recall earlier when we said that we can focus on the tree and make it appear. For the example of focusing on the tree and making it real, we will describe this process with a superscript in the form of x arrow y. In plain letter, it can be stated as, given y is to the left of that arrow, I'll make it appear on the right of that arrow. When we discuss the spaces SE and NE, the actuality of these spaces can be described as if being moved in real time by the observer. When we talk about expectancy, we could imagine it as the space that the observer expects when they assume some instance of time. The observer directly at a playing field and sort of see something. Currently, the actuality is such that there is a playing field. When we focus on the object, the expectancy is a clearer form. After focusing on the object, the actuality and expectancy face match, where the actuality of the object means something distinct from the background, matches that of the expectancy, which was a distinct object of focus. This notion of actuality and expectancy can also apply to instances where, given some real-time memory of space, there is both the actuality and expectancy instance. For example, suppose we have some observer in a room. The actuality instance is not much happening. Now suppose that it was revealed that there is a bomb in the room. Currently, the actuality instance is still not much happening, but the expectancy instance is explosion. If the bomb goes off, the actuality instance and the expectancy instance converge toward explosion. To represent actuality and expectancy, we will define a function A or B, which returns the actuality and expectancy. If you notice what is returned from this function is similar to what is to the right of the arrow, where space on the right of the arrow returns a space and instance on the right of the arrow returns an instance. When we have some description of a process, such as trying to focus on a tree, there is the notion of an authority. In the case of focusing on a tree, the authority is the NI concept of the tree, and the SE is force change to match the expectancy of NI. Here's another example. You ask the question, I want to say not much going to make up, ranges and means. The any description has authority. You keep
misdefining extroverted intuition. Here's the thing.
Five something.
You're a deliberator by my calculation here, by the way that this is done and everything. And you're framing extroverted intuition as part of a deliberative process, just as I frame introverted intuition as part of a creative process. But extroverted intuition is a creative process. It's not a deliberative process, although it can be used in conjunction with deliberation. If it's only if you're deliberation on top that you you understand it as deliberative in that way. So that's the only objection I have to this so far, which is really amazing, because you know how I like to object to things. The thing is, of course, also it's it's kind of this is so same sort of thing with the extroverted intuition. Is the whole thing is kind of information metabolizing in its framework, because extroverted sensing, you've got it framed as like asking and answering questions, right? That's a TI frame, and I don't think that's implicit to the functions SCNE.
How well the actualities and expectancies overlap. A higher overlap would mean a good fitness, and a lower overlap would mean a bad fitness. What sort of things correct fitness of the mind? Here are some examples using a tree. When you experience anything, trees happen. This is a tree, therefore it must be everything. I've taken a picture of everything and called it a tree. When asked to write an essay on trees, I scribbled on my page. Generally, correction of object fitness occurs when an object loses the precision, difference, or boundary that allows it to stand as a distinct being from entity. Applied to processes, corrosion occurs when we have too many instances or expectancy instances. Let's use water as an example. Water can be many things. It can be something you drink, something that extinguishes, something that comes from the clouds, a medium for carrying stuff through pipes. What happens when you assume the authority of all these NI concepts and try to enforce it in experiential space? By drinking the water, you corrode its expectancy instance as something that extinguishes. By jumping into it, you corrode its expectancy instance as a medium for carrying spillage. What are the implications? For there to be a good presence fitness, the instance should be small and precise. 19 slides is a good place to end these. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section.
It's good. I'm gonna put a link to it in the community tab. I'd have to watch it again probably to really understand everything you were saying. But I like the attempt to be comprehensive and like comprehensive about how you you can't really talk about functions without talking about it through different frames, because even talking about functions, we're using functions to do that, so that's why it's such a tricky thing to explain, right? Because every object of analysis, we've already rendered it as an object of analysis into something that we're dealing with on a communicative level, right? So when we talk about experience, we've like you. This is something you get into there, which is we've already rendered it into an object of analysis, and accordingly, it can only really do communicative work. Which is not to say that actual experience doesn't do other kinds of work, but the kind of work we're doing here is so exclusively in the communicative realm that it can make it tricky to draw some distinctions. I just think it's a matter of put, get, receive. You got, if we're gonna try to model it in some way that's equivalent to the way the functions behave, I guess, the way people behave attentionally when exercising with when using a function. Um, there's putting, getting, receiving, and then interfacing is kind of a combination of put and receive. So, I mean, I think we could be more. I think we could be more specific. Like, there are 4 fields. Okay. Video. Paste. Search. Yeah. Insert. I'm going to say, this is an interesting video that people should watch.
Nice.
This is an interesting video that people should watch. It's hard to explain, huh? I totally, it's like I can feel the frustration, right? Well, I mean, I agree there's a 4th thing that's poorly defined called interfacing. But, no, there isn't a missing inner policy. There's a universal prime directive of matching uh, expectations and realities. And every function configuration is a stratagem towards bridging that gap. Okay. I had to fold. Woe is me. I'm not uh I'm not big on leaving comments. It's just a lot of typing. I had a lie-in this morning. Perfect. Nearly went out to a rave in Deptford last night, but changed my mind at the last minute. Feels like I won the lottery. Coke decisions are always bad decisions. Maybe. Yeah, I saw that, but I mean, like, that's I mean, you're like object and process fitness. They just seem to be a way of taxonomying a rationalist's approach to things, right? It's not it's not how people actually experience any such thing, and it's not exclusively correct to as a description either. It's just kind of like a metaphor. I'm not sure why it's necessary. Well, I think you're branching off away from typology at that point. Am I having a good day? Super Adolf 88 lightning bolt. Yes, I'm having a good day. Are you having a good day? How about those Detroit Tigers? They're a winning baseball team. It's necessary to explain why a dominant function necessitates the inferior. It doesn't necessitate the inferior. The dominant function defines your relationship with your inferior and your 5th and your 8th. Your second function defines your relationship with your 3rd, 4th, I mean your third, sixth, and seventh. So in other words, because you're paying attention, because I'm paying attention with putting information like this all the time, I'm continually re-explaining the same thing in slightly different terms, maybe, or from different angle, but because I'm always doing that, it's how I understand as well, as opposed to say an introverted thinker who might uh, feel like they need to do a lot more. I mean, I do plenty of thinking, but not out loud. But the point is, if I weren't continually re-explaining things, I would probably not continue to understand as well. Because what does that tell you? Well, because my extroverted intuition is a pudding function, it means that I'm not going to have as much attention towards retaining information that I already know. I'm continually reinventing the same information, and accordingly, if I don't do that, I'll forget it. That's an example of how expert intuition as a pudding function, as a pudding words function, um, interferes with the ability to learn and retain central pieces of information because they always get mixed up and lost in the shuffle of the other ideas, right? So it's easy to see how it's not a matter of the dominant function necessitating the inferior, it's a matter of the dominant function truncating the inferior. It occupies the the channel that would otherwise be paid attention to via retaining things, remembering things, learning things, or experiencing. No, you know what? One of those songs actually got a content claim. The Navy one. Muslim firecracker, golden diaper, Jewish presents. I don't know. You seem like you've got what do you call it? Provocateur syndrome. Kitties, why? I want both of you kitties to go away from me.
Seriously.
Okay. Trouble, you first. Go away. Kabila, you next. Off you go. Trouble, be nice. You be nice. Go ahead, Kabila. Right there. I think it's rather a loaded way of expressing it. No kings is a perfectly satisfactory message from my perspective. I think we should all agree with that, and we should all object to Trump's disregard of due process, checks and balances, etc. It's really fucked up.
Yeah. Due process is like such a core part of our government.
Of American values. Yes, we did win.
Oh.
6-1.
Yay! That's awesome. Who did they play against?
The Kansas City Royals. Severino pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, he did a great job. And then, even though we had a 5-run lead, Kotsay brought in Mason Miller in the 9th. So.
And he did good.
Yes, he just shut him down.
Nice.
And we got a much needed win, and it really helps my fantasy team out as well because I have both Severino and Mason Miller on my fantasy team.
Sweet.
Oh, really? I turned it off with, I think it was 2 outs in the ninth, or maybe it was just 1 out in the ninth. Did Mason Miller give up 3 runs in the ninth inning? Huh. I guess I turned it off a little too soon. I saw Mason Miller in the ninth, and I was like, okay, 6-1. I thought he had maybe 1 or 2 outs. But obviously, he gave up 3 runs in the ninth. Well, that sucks. He's been pretty spotty this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Katse brought him in, I guess. Wanted to give him some work, you know.
It's good he needs it.
Yeah. The answer to that, Putty Cat, is that everybody who's in the United States, regardless of whether they're here on a visa or illegally or whatever, has due process rights because that's how the law is executed in this country, right? So the problem with the idea that illegals might not have a right to due process is that means nobody has a right to due process. All anybody has to do is say you're illegal, and then no need to prove it, right?
Crazy.
No due process.
It's crazy.
You look too Mexican. Any thoughts on the Israel-Iran war? No. I don't have any thoughts on it. I mean, you know, I have the same thoughts I've always had on it, which is obviously Iran can't fight against Israel because Israel's has too substantial a military advantage. They want to try, but you know, Iran better chickity check themselves before they riggedy wreck themselves. Cause not saying they should be that way, but you know, Israel's not having it, whatever it is. I guess I do have a few thoughts on it.
It's hard not to.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why people are concerned about Iran having nuclear weapons. Because obviously if you have a theocracy, then you've got a certain percentage of the population who believes it would be a good idea to, you know, kill the infidel. At the same time, I can understand how frustrated Iran must be because all these people who tell them that they cannot have nuclear weapons, they all have nuclear weapons. So it's understandably frustrating. If I were Iran, I'd have a problem with it as well. Like, fuck you. You have shit tons of nuclear weapons, but we can't have one. North Korea has nuclear weapons. You didn't stop them. But we can't have any nuclear weapons? I'd be pissed if I were Iran. But I also get it. A Muslim theocracy is more dangerous than North Korea. They have a proven history of being willing to die for their cause as some sort of act of martyrdom or something. That's not good. You don't want people who want to be martyrs. Martyrs are for holy wars, and holy wars are for losers. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not an atheist. I'm a secularist. In the sense that I don't think religion has any role in governance and in a free and civil society. Appeals to religion, unfortunately, are always going to be appeals to authority because nobody has any specific legitimate claim to being correct about some religious interpretation. So it just ends up being the person with the most clout. So accordingly, it's both theocratic and autocratic. Do I support gay marriage? I mean, obviously, if the federal government is going to be involved in marriage at all and give advantages and different things to people who are married than people who are single, then they have to afford that the same, they have equal protection under the law, So obviously, the federal government is legally, fundamentally obligated to recognize gay marriage if they're going to recognize marriage at all. I don't think it's going to lead to regime change. It's going to, well, like I said, it's not something that one believes in or doesn't believe in. It's just simply a legal question. Should the federal government recognize the legitimacy of gay marriage? If they're going to recognize the legitimacy of straight marriage, then yeah, of course, equal protection. But should the federal government be involved in marriage at all? No. They should have nothing at all to do with it. In which case, then you could go to whatever place and I'm marrying you and this tree. You could marry a tree for fuck's sake, No, nobody would have any problem with it because, after all, it's just you having a ceremony saying you're married, just like real life. That's all marriage is, having a ceremony saying you're married. Sure, there's a change of legal status from um, strangers to spouses, and there are certain legal rights that spouses have regarding, say, decisions about medical care, things like that. But I don't think the government should. Well, I mean, the whole nightmare federal tax code is just a clusterfuck of is what you would call like the cascading but fuckery of progressivism and taxation. You have to keep redefining and redefining and redefining things because, like, okay, well, you pay more taxes because you make more money than Joe. Okay, but I have 3 kids and Joe's single. I have 3 kids and a wife, Joe's single. So, okay, well, let's do some deductions here then. And before you know it, you've got this endless stack of all these different exceptions and sub rules, and it's just fucking ridiculous. No, government should exist. Definitely it should exist. I think we should repeal the income tax amendment from the Constitution. Well, I got divorced twice. It didn't cost me anything until my dad died. Giving my ex-wife money. Oh my god. How fucking ridiculous.
She left you.
Yeah.
Thank God she did, because
He's like that, man. He's just spit in my face, basically. Just spitting in my face to do that. In my opinion, but maybe he thought about it differently.
but like, I mean, Delilah had a very confused reaction by it too.
Yeah, well, SI tool, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, my divorce didn't cost me anything because fuck that noise. Why should I have to pay them? You know? I couldn't think of any good reason why I should have to pay either of them. Certainly not my first wife who cheated on me, causing the dissolution of the marriage. She wasn't going to get any money from me. And certainly not my second wife either, because why? She had a job just like I did. Why should I pay her alimony? She tried to be like, oh no, I should get some money from you in a divorce. And I'm like, the fuck? What you need to explain to me is why that would be righteous and fair.
Right.
Not whether or not you could get it if you went to court. You couldn't because I will destroy you in court. Because you have no chance against me. But regardless, if you're trying to argue that you should get money because in theory you could get money from if you went to court, then you're missing the central question, which is what's the righteous and just thing? And I told her, look, if you for some reason need money badly at some point and you want to hit me up and say, hey, Eric, can you please give me a little bit of money or something, then I'll consider it, but the idea that I should be locked into some sort of payment arrangement to her for leaving, well, fuck that noise. Mac 46-8L says, why are we bringing it past? Well, because Pootie Cat said, personally, I'm not a fan of marriage. Too risky. Too many end in divorce and loss of money. So I pointed out that may be the case, but I didn't have to pay either of my ex-wives any money. Well, I mean, the courts are more friendly toward whomever does a better job. And that would be me. Obviously.
One of the tradwife woman, I told you this, she, was warning against being a tradwife, saying that, she lost everything, even custody of the kids, because her husband made the argument that she had no degree and was only a housewife for the time they were together, so she got full custody. For primary custody.
Well, I mean, remember, this is her rendition of what happened and her linking that was the argument that convinced the judge. That might not have been the argument at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The argument may have totally landed on deaf ears. You're not my son. I don't have a son. I have a daughter. I have a wife. I have a spoon. But I don't have a son. Rachel and I will never get divorced. We're together forever.
I hope so.
Oh Of course we are. You don't think you're gonna leave me?
No, but my dad shook me up a little bit when he was like, I was married for life.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody else is in a proper relationship. It's understandable that everybody else's relationships fail, or if they don't, then it's a tragedy, like with Corey. Dave Porter has about the best other relationships besides us, and I don't think their relationship is nearly as good as ours.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So anyway, I mean, we both understand that we've never been in this kind of relationship before. Obviously, we're not splitting up. I'm already 54 years old for one thing. Um, and you're 40, and it's time to settle into the final relationship of our life.
Thank you.
But most importantly, it's we're just meant to be. It's so obvious. No, it's not a personal conversation, Mac 46-8L. It's a conversation following from the topic of divorce that was brought up before. Rachel and I are super golden. Last night we were laughing so hard in bed about the purple jacket. Mushrooms are great. It's really good to do mushrooms sometimes. It makes you more sensitive. Yeah, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? This channel is not about becoming famous. Iranian people are hot? You mean from the explosives being sent their way? The best part of waking up is Folgers in my cup? I think I better get some then. Let's get some Folgers in my cup. I actually made a pot of coffee not that long ago. The best part of waking up is Folgers in my cup. Decaffeinated. Government coming by at me like a crackhead. GMGM. I'm sorry to hear that the government is coming by at you like a crackhead. I don't really know what that means, but I'm sorry to hear it nevertheless. Well, I got an open ender here. I got 4, 5, 6, 7. I got a 6 and a 4. Maybe it'll come. There we go. Now I got this straight. Okay, so I'll bet pot. Maybe a little bit more than that. Right there. Yeah. The government is criminals. The government is crime. The government is criminals. All right. Tonight. All right. All night. Well, I'm gonna go with the 16. Okay, stop being creepy at me. Oh, government, you always being criminals. Better stop it. I can't believe how fucking crazy Trump is going. He's just like, I mean, he was mostly pretty harmless during his first term, right? He did some things that pissed me off, but he's really making a mess of things this time. I mean, he's doing, I'm sure, quite permanent damage to our relationship with all of our allies, to the extent that we didn't ruin that with Bush Cheney already anyway. Oh God. What a tard that guy is. Why? Why do we have to have a retarded president? Oh yeah, Florida's jingle is great. We can all sing it. They crashed 3 of your trading computers because you beat them at their game. Sorry to hear that, Ben DeMedio. Yeah, well, that's pretty cold pudding, you know. It's like true. It's conceivable to have somebody worse than Trump, but that's not the point. Oh no, I know, put a carrot. I know. But I think it's horrible with all these deportations. It's like, it's so Gestapo. It's ridiculous. Well, I tell you who's not welfare or food stamp recipient: illegal immigrants. There's nobody really gets welfare. Food stamps, yes, there are food stamps, but most people tend to think like, if you're gonna cut something, cut that later, you know? Can we not talk about him? This is the worst decade of my life. Talk about who? This is an interesting variant, Jacob Crusader 12 asks. Would you rather watch an old man cuss out a gay teen? Or, and then the normal thing. Well, you're probably talking about disability. Um, Biden was harmless, like Trump was mostly harmless in his first term, right? They didn't really do anything. This term, Trump's just going balls out. I'm gonna just autocratically dictate everything, and ugh. Certainly, I lamented Trump's buffoonery during the first term, just as I lamented Biden's dementia during his term. But neither of those terms resulted in a whole lot of anything. So those are good. Those are good presidencies, accordingly, because they didn't do much. This Trump term, the the I mean, it's just so un-American. Everything that's going on is just so fucking un-American.
Yeah, it really is.
It makes me want to weep for my country. But that's why I just try not to pay attention to it instead. So I don't want to have a bunch of bad feelings. Just as well my dad died when he did, you know. He didn't know what to make of this changing America at all, I don't think.
I remember the night before he unalived himself, he said that he basically something along the lines of he had like no hope for, or he like was worried for,
Delilah's generation?
yeah, and younger.
Yeah. The thing is, what we don't want to do, Ben DiMedio, is is just like arbitrarily start shutting off parts of government for just like Trump does. Like, oh, everybody tell me what you do for your job, and you know, like, okay. No, I don't think that's a wise way to go because we have, as part of a free and civil society, uh, a system by which things are accomplished. And the commander in chief of the military doesn't get to do whatever he wants to because he's got the army at his disposal. If we're going down that course, then, you know, somewhere along the line, core constitutional uh, principle of civilian leadership of the military has been sacrificed. If he's gonna turn his commander in chiefhood into some kind of coup, you know, where he just does whatever the fuck he wants and nobody can stop him. Yeah, well, I mean, it would be great to replace the income tax with a more sane tax, for sure. Hi, Anthony. But I don't think we can reasonably expect to. I mean, just in terms of actually affecting these outcomes, you know. I mean, look, Ben, I'm not somebody who's getting any kind of stuff from the government, but there are a lot of different ways in which the government wastes money, and uh, yeah, Obamacare is a fucking nightmare. Just don't even get me started, please. I don't want to get all upset about it. No King's Day. Get out to your closest demonstration. Be peaceful and be heard. Well, I'm not going to any demonstrations, but I I appreciate the name of this. No King's Day. Anybody can get behind that. I agree. No kings.
Yeah, right? Anybody can get behind that. They're having a demonstration in Mariposa, actually.
Really?
Yeah, on the art lawn.
I just, as far as my standing in the actual local community, I'd rather just kind of remain apolitical.
It's. I was just saying that.
Yeah, I know. But I talk about politics on here. Hey, well, Ben, you know, if you're making so much money, why don't you super chat me?
Ooh.
You super chat me, and I'll continue my good work here on the internet explaining things to people. Wouldn't you like that? Sure you would. I normally don't super chat me. I just joking. I don't really ask for super chats ever. It's not really my style. ESPN Shams Chernia? What is that? First, I lose my job to Muslim money hater O Bum Bum. Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Seems to me that you're probably just talking a little bit of nonsense. And that's okay, you know. A little bit of nonsense in the right portion of nonsense is okay. Just not too much nonsense, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm a 2 away from the wheel. Muslim money is money that has to pray 5 times a day.
Uh-oh.
Give me Muslim money. Or give me some Muslim money today. It spins just like a currency I got from Saudi Arabia. Muslim money. Oh yeah, jazzy. That's some jazzy jazz. They steal the free of my car. Why they steal all of my car? I don't know why they steal all of your car. Okay. Oh. Pair of jacks, huh? I got a pair of jacks. I got a pair of jacks. 1J, 2J, 1J, 2J. I got a pair of jacks. I wonder what it'll do. Will it win the pot or two? Or will instead I lose a bunch because I got a pair of jacks? He's a damn idiot. Ever notice the way he talks? Who are you talking about? Oh, I folded my jacks accidentally. They killed you. Oh, it came out of jack too. Oh well. Once every day, I go down to the river to wash my clothes. 'Cause I'm indigenous, I'm a native woman just washing her clothes. Washing her clothes. Washing her clothes. Every Saturday I do the laundry down by the riverside. Every Tuesday evening I also do laundry time. It is always time for laundry in my indigenous way. I think that laundry is a very special day. Come on, everybody, let's go. Let's go, everybody, let's go. Let's go, everybody, let's go. Jack and 9. I'm gonna fold. cannot leave this game. So I can play the piano without distraction. Who do you see? Who do you see? Who do you see on Saturday? I don't know, but I can't believe that I won't see anybody Saturday. Saturday is the day after to yesterday. Now it's Saturday today, 'cause yesterday was Friday, don't you say? Don't go away, it's Saturday again. If you like fun times, you will like Saturday. It is the time for activities and also Sunday. But if you don't like activities, then you won't like Saturday. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, piano, I think you're fine. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, wrong one. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right. Somebody named me. Yeah, I know some famous tunes, sure. You want me to sing something famous? I'll sing you something famous. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted. Then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. Worry, why do I let myself worry? Wondering what in the world I can do. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy for crying and crazy for trying and crazy for loving you. Thank you, thank you. If that song's not famous enough for you, then there are no songs that are famous enough for you. Because that's like the most famous song. That and the Big Red song. Make it last a little longer, say goodbye a little longer, having that long lasting freshness with Big Red. Cody Joe, do you like long lasting freshness? Are you a fan? Or are you more of a juicy fruit kind of guy? Do you like to pull it out, stick it in? The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. It's juicy soft, it gets right to ya. A juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya. Thanks.
So much impressiveness tonight.
Thanks, yeah.
You made the.
I did, I made that thing outside, yeah.
You played some music.
Now that's the juicy fruit jingle. That's what it says. They show them pulling a stick of gum out of the package and then sticking it in their mouth. Pull it out. Stick it in. It takes is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Surely you know that song. Everybody knows that song.
I don't know that song.
But you don't know that
No.
song. Well, maybe it was from a longer time ago than you. You're in the big leagues when you're into Big League Chew. I guess I'm not in the big leagues. I don't have any Big League Chew on me. Yeah, I know what Big League Chew is. It's shredded bubble gum. Shredded to make it more like tobacco you put a pinch between your cheek and gum. You know, some people in the Major League Baseballs, they still chew tobacco, I suspect. It's not as common as it once was, but I think some of them probably do still chew tobacco. I wonder why that became like a baseball thing. You can spit in a baseball field.
Did they spit on the baseball field?
Well, I mean, they used to spit all over the ball.
Oh.
A lot of baseball players chew sunflower seeds, as does Aaron Boone. He's a
Yeah,
big
he's
sunflower
famous.
seed eater.
Yeah.
When things go bad for the Yankees, he's just like, just hurling seeds at his face as fast as he can.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at the piano.
Yeah, you are. It's really cool.
I'm starting to get where I can quickly play whatever chord I think to myself, like, okay, E major. E major is kind of a tricky one to find for a while, but I've got it down pretty well. Hey, can I ask you a question? You just did. Would you like to ask another one? You can always ask questions. People don't have to answer them. Hello, kitty. You want to come up here with Daddy? You can come sit with Daddy. What time does the athletics play today? I'm not sure. I could check the S-bin.
I think I'm going to be done with that.
Alright, I'll be in there in a little bit.
Take your time. I'm not. Is it okay? Do you
Of
mind?
course.
I don't want to.
Of course it's okay, darling. You do you. You do what you feel like doing.
I feel like you can no longer sit vertically.
Fair enough.
Trouble.
Mold.
Oh, sorry. Trouble, get out of the way. Come on. I love you.
Love you too, darling. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.
Thanks.
Yeah, athletics and 14-game road losing streak. Beat Royal 6-4. Oh yeah. I want to see the. Oh, look at all those L's. Oh my God. It is not. So far, it's not a fun season to be an A's fan. But you know what? We're only 13 games back, even though we are 27 and 44, which is not good. Obviously, it's 17 games under 500. Oh, Hoagland's done for the season. Fantastic. Come on, Athletics. I believe in you. What time do they play today? Good question. They play today at 1:10 p.m. my time. I'm glad you had me check that, Pretty Cat, because it's early. That's an early game. Yeah, well, we're coming back, okay? We are coming back. Oh, the Gers family, they are so prone to naming their kids Nick. The athletics season started off so well, too. Then right into the shitter. Hello, Mr. Gers. Oh, yes, you're a good kitty. Yes, you could sit on Daddy. It's fine. Yeah, well, just as the Gers family had a propensity for naming their children Nick, the Myers family has a propensity for naming their children Dixon. Just like the Missouri family tend to name their kids Mike, as do the Hunts, the Oxlongs, and many others. Oh, yes, Mr. Kitty. Come and sit. Come and sit on your father's lap. Come to me. Come to me and be my loving kitty. Yes. It's a good kitty. Oh, yes. the Calk family. Yeah. I have a tendency to name their kids things like Secure and Pulmai. How long time you are in prison? I've never been to prison. I don't think I'd do very well in prison. Well, there probably nobody would be particularly interested in me because I'm just some old guy in prison for some reason. I don't know why I would go to prison. I don't think I'd commit any crime enough to ever go to prison. You know, my crimes include things like an occasional unintentional traffic infraction. Oops, I'm going a little too fast. Let me slow down. Those are my crimes. About as big as they get. Oh, kitty, man. What an important gentleman friend. What a swell and good creature. Yes, Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. Not really, but they're they're not that they're not really that criminalized. Like, you know, there's a store that sells them in Oakland. So it's just they call themselves a church, and they say you're not buying it, you're making an offering, and then they're happening to give you the what do they call it? Communion or whatever, like communion wafers, which is mushroom. But that's not where I currently get my mushrooms. I like these mushrooms better than the store mushrooms. The sleeping pills are really starting to kick in. I took olanzapine, 4 Benadryl, and 2 gabapentin. So I think I'm gonna head off to bed here. I can barely keep my eyes open now. Good night, my friends. Friends, neighbors, countrymen. Good night. And may your dreams be filled with sweetness and love.